What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Milwaukee Sports Performance Podcast. My name is Michael Faulk. I'm going to be hosting this episode, and I am joined today by Tony Becker of Toned Body Fitness. We're going to dig into how he helps clients reach their fitness goals with routines that actually stick, and then a fun community event that he has coming up on September 7th over at Arrowhead High School that we want to share some information about and see if we can get our kind of active Lake Country community out to this great fitness event. So Tony, thanks for taking a little bit of time out of your busy schedule to come in and join us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, and excited to chat with you a little bit about this field and our big event on September 7th.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, if people aren't familiar with you, could you just give us a little background on, how your story, how you got started, where Toned Body Fitness came from, and how it helps clients?
Yeah, for sure. So I know my personal journey I've kind of mentioned a few times in different things, but I grew up as an overweight child, my max weight being around the 260 pounds. And at my height, not a very tall guy at 5'7", I was able to change some things in my life, enjoyed sports. So I took out soda, stopped eating at A&W, favorite spot up in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, was able to lose a good amount of weight and basically got to where I wanted to be sports-wise, became the starting running back for the football team the next summer or the next fall, and kind of kickstarted my interest for the fitness kinesiology field. Went to University of La Crosse for kinesiology there and took internships after La Crosse, went to Athletes Performance, which is now called Exos, down in Tempe, Arizona, and they have a couple across the nation now. And it just kind of developed my mindset for helping all sorts of individuals, whether it's young athletes, older individuals, male, female, doesn't matter. Currently with Toned Body Fitness, we're coming up to our 7-year anniversary for being a business. I've been in the fitness field for a long time, and Toned Body Fitness, we cater to all different levels of individuals. So our youngest client right now is 11 years old, and our oldest is 86. We got everything in between that we work with. So it's been fun, and it's been a great opportunity for myself as well as the rest of our staff to get to work with that different array of fitness individuals.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's just really cool what our profession can do and how you're able to help people with their goals and meeting them there where they are. I also didn't know you went to Exos. I did one of my last clinical rotations at Exos in undergrad at Marquette before I went and worked for the Packers. I was at the one, still Athletes Performance in Texas. My wife, Lauren, was down in Arizona for a long time doing a lot of their mentorship stuff too. So we'll have to connect more on that at some point.
Yeah, it was a lot of information that I learned. It took a lot from just the internship. They eventually hired me on too. So I worked with them for a little bit with their military and sports teams program, and then eventually moved to Milwaukee and took a job here.
If I shadowed you for a week, what patterns would I see in your coaching style or your programs with athletes, kind of how you help people along their fitness journey?
Yeah, if you shadowed me, it would really be meeting the client with where they're at. So what we do is we do initial consultation with every single client we have, since we offer so many different avenues of fitness. We have private training, we have group classes, we have yoga, we do nutritional consultation. So it's really, you would see us being able to tailor to each specific individual. So, if a 20-year-old individual comes in, they're in collegiate sports, their program is going to look a little different than the 55-year-old lady that's looking to increase bone density, maybe figure out her hormonal state of being and maybe lose a couple pounds. So different programs. But what we do during that consultation phase and what you would see if you shadowed me is just the approach that we take to listen to each client individually. And even with that reference or example, you could have two females at 55 years old, and both of them need two different style programs as well, because one was previously active and has the neuromuscular connection, and one has never done exercise a day in her life. So you're trying to build up that connection from mind to body to muscle to be able to just perform certain movements and tasks properly.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think the individualized approach with fitness is just so good. I think people get turned off early in routines when they're just kind of shoehorned into, here's the workout of the day and you have to do it. And if you've never exercised before, you're going to be miserably sore the next day. It's hard to get yourself to go back in the gym for that second, third workout after you feel so bad after the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we tell our clients. I'm sure you tell with PT too, like soreness doesn't always have to be the answer to how hard a workout is. But sometimes we explain, we have a client working out for the first time and we just do a simple body weight static lunges. Like they may feel some soreness the next couple of days in their thighs if they've never done that before, even though from the outside looking in, not the most strenuous of exercises, but if the quad, hamstring, glutes never done that movement with your body weight, um, soreness could happen, but it's not the end all be all if I had a good workout or not.
Yeah, for sure. Question that we get a lot, and I'm sure you see it similarly, but we'll get a lot of people that'll eventually find us and it's like, oh, I've tried PT elsewhere. I've had this issue for a long time. It just keeps coming back or haven't gotten answers. On your end, you see a lot of your clients that's like, well, I've tried to lose weight in the past, or I've tried this or that. I've done, pick your favorite gym and I haven't gotten the results that I look for. Where do you start with a person that's kind of had that longstanding attempts at fitness without really ever hitting their true goal?
I think it all starts in our consultation phase. So when we meet with a client, we meet them with, like I said, with where they're at, but trying to determine what obstacles they face. So if they've tried multiple times to work on their fitness endeavors, there's obviously some reason they came to see us, like some reason they stopped, whether it was a life situation. COVID stopped a lot of people from exercising because things were shut down. So they didn't have access to gym. So like everybody's going to have an obstacle. Our main approach is like, what is that obstacle? How do we create different pathways to overcome that one specific one? And people might have multiple obstacles. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I got 4 kids in school or at home. Injury, my back hurts. I got compressed lumbar discs. I got torn rotator cuff. Whatever the situation is, we're always able to find a solution around that to make sure they can do something. And our strategy and methodology is just get moving, get doing something. It doesn't have to look like an Olympic athlete. It can just be that moving aspect. It could be just walking on a treadmill for 2 days or doing some light resistance training movement to get the momentum rolling. Because as you probably see, or we see a lot, is people start into like a workout routine that got them off of the habit. It naturally gets them to eat healthier. They naturally start sleeping better. Like all the little things started coming into alignment because they started with a strategic plan, and then us doing that consultation of knowing what their obstacles were. We're more aware of that. Like, okay, this person gives themselves 3 months and they technically tend to quit after that. So at that 2-month mark, at that 3-month mark, always meeting with them in consultation to kind of see where they're at, how they're progressing, and I guess handling each client's situation individually by, having the communication piece versus just shoving workouts at them where it's just like workout. Hopefully you get the results of, how the fitness field sometimes goes when you have like a gym membership, but you're not really sure if you're doing the correct things inside the gym. We provide a little bit more of a guidance and a bulletproof method to make sure you're staying on the right track.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And a little bit more of a holistic approach. That kind of is actually a perfect segue because it leads me to one of my other questions. We see a lot of people, that time is always short and there's so many things in the gym that you could be doing. You've got this fitness membership or access to these things, and there's a lot of options. You could go to class, you could do yoga, Pilates, strength train, walk on the treadmill, do foam rolling mobility work. How do you balance with clients getting them to utilize whatever time they have in the most effective way towards their goal? Where do you see people that are maybe just kind of wandering, and where do they waste a lot of time on fitness things that don't actually move the needle towards their goal? And where can you sort of redirect them to get them back on getting the most out of their time in the gym?
Yeah, seeing what they're currently doing. So I always ask clients what their current routine looks like to see what could be like fluff stuff or what could be wasted time. Like if you're, not working out a ton, but you're foam rolling 2 hours a day, maybe we cut back a little bit of the foam rolling and, add some resistance training in there. So you need some myofascial release because you're breaking down some muscle fibers. That question will be more individually specific. Once again, in meeting the client with where they're at to see what they're doing, we always try and recommend at least 3 days of some type of resistance training into the body. So we never try and take a client away from what they're doing as far as like enjoyment. Like, some clients walk for cardiovascular wise, and some of them use it as like a stress reduction. Some of them use it as a meditative state. And, here at Tone Body Fitness, we're not gonna be like, all right, you got to stop walking. We're going to now just do resistance training 6 days a week, not doing that excess cardio versus like, okay, what are you doing? What's working for you? What's not? I never want to take people away. Like, we just had a lady yesterday. She does yoga twice a week. She walks 5 days a week, but she doesn't do resistance training. So she was kind of familiar to taking that next step. She was in her 60s, wanted to build bone density. Her upper thoracic ribs can pop out sometimes. So obviously was dealing with some orthopedic issues, and she goes to a chiropractor. So now it's, how do we do this safely, incorporate resistance training, but don't stop the walking piece, because you already found your method of activity. It's not, do tone body fitness and then you cannot do anything else outside of here. So long story short, to answer your question, it's really individual based to see what they're doing, to see how we can incorporate a streamlined approach to help that person be more successful, really based upon their goals of what they want to accomplish.
Yeah, I agree completely. And I think it's something that I work with our staff a lot on. At times you can lose people. We know what they need to do eventually, but if we push them too quick or challenge too many of their beliefs and core tenets too early, you can lose them versus, like I use an example of golfers. We see a lot of them and they all think they need more mobility and golf specific exercises. Maybe they do. And there's maybe a little bit of benefit there, but we know they actually need more leg strength or more core stability or whatever the case may be for what we're seeing them for. I'm like, if we just throw out all of the things that they think they need to do and make them do all the stuff that we know they need to do, they're probably not going to keep coming back. And if we can try to bridge that gap and give them a little bit about what they enjoy and what they really feel benefit from, and then slip in some of the stuff that we know is really important, over time, you can start migrating them more and more towards some of the key pillars that they really need. But you push that too early, you can really turn people off.
Yeah, 100%. I think what really works for us too is I'm a big component of explaining the why behind exercises, like you said. So we deal with a lot of golfing clients too. And what we'll do with some clients is do boxing to be able to develop their lower body explosiveness, to have them develop power through their legs that go through their hips to develop like a punch, and then have them translate that to how that works with a golf swing, right? So you're trying to develop power from your legs in order to rotate your hips. It's going to translate to a golf swing as well, but you're not doing a golf swing because, golf is one of those things where it's definitely a mental sport. Like you could get a strong, notice in my own, life, I enjoy golfing, but, as I got stronger, faster, more agile, more flexible with yoga, that didn't always translate into better scores on the golf course. Like mentality and the mental approach is more so golf wise what's going to help, but we can help with increased torque, ability to drive power and stuff like that. So
yeah, for sure. And it's always a good window. I feel like us golfers are obsessive. It's like, I'll skip the workout, but if it's for golf, I'll go ahead and get in the gym and do it. So no, that's awesome. Okay. We're entering into a busy time of year for families. I'm sure you see lots of clients that have kids and things like that. And, with my son, it's like this fall, all of a sudden school starts, you've got fall travel, you've got fall sports going on. When clients get into these busy times of year, I think there can be a tendency to drop fitness routines. It's always the first thing that they start skipping. Do you have any strategies for people on how could they maybe modify a workout or something like that, where they don't have to totally stop their fitness routine, but they could just modify it? Maybe it's more maintenance without just falling off the wagon.
Yeah, I think what really helped us in that specific capacity was COVID, where we had to switch all of our client base to virtual. So we're an in-person studio. We have individual private training suites as well as a larger gym space where we do group classes. In March of 2020, when we had to switch to virtual, all of our clients switched to virtual. We've actually been able to implement that strategy and system into our training now. We still have multiple clients that train virtually. In that specific instance, when clients get busy or kids go to school, we implement the virtual training where we have a client, they're like, oh, my daughter's sick. I can't leave, the house. Gonna have to skip my workout. And then they're like, oh wait, Tone Body Fitness offers virtual. So what we do is a Zoom call basically and adapt your program to whatever you have available. The nice thing with our staff is everybody's so educated where even if you had zero equipment, we're able to create a body weight thing. So like you said, you don't have to just skip your workout. We just create a different type of workout. So you still get to keep that momentum moving, where if you're like, all right, I gotta get my 3 workouts in. This one I might have to skip. Oh, I don't have to skip now because I can do it virtually with, Tone Body Fitness or create a pass. So I think that was a way that's really helped us, is being able to have the virtual aspect. And then another thing is being able to adapt the intensity of programs, where a client comes in, they have a bum knee, their back is sore. So we can adapt on the fly. We've created programs where maybe it's not heavy resistance training where you're loading up the spine, and we switch it to like a more mobility, flexibility type of training aspect where you still get that 45 minutes of movement, but now we're promoting blood flow to the joints and the muscles versus putting pressure on the joint impact, which also allows clients to be like, okay, I'm not feeling 100%, but I know if I go to Tone Body Fitness, I can still get a workout and they'll take it easy on me. They're not going to crush me where I just couldn't do a 100% workout today. It's just not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, no, I think that's critical. And I mean, obviously we see primarily people in pain, and a lot of times the first thing that they do is like, should I stop going to the gym? It's like, no, absolutely not. Like, your knee hurts, you have other limbs that are totally fine. Like, go do stuff with that. Like, don't just skip it for no reason.
Yeah. We've had a bunch of client testimonials and stuff too, which is really impactful to hear, where we just did some video testimonial video shoots. And we had a client where, pickleball, obviously it's still a big craze. We had a client that twisted her ankle pretty bad. Doctor put her in a boot. And like she, in her head, she's like, okay, because I've been going to Tone Body Fitness for about a year and a half, I know they're going to be able to adapt around me, because she's seen other clients in here, if they had a boot from a previous injury, that like, just like you said, you have 3 other limbs, you have a core. If your lower body's immobilized, we can still do upper body stuff, and vice versa. You just had, wrist surgery and carpal tunnel, or, you broke your wrist, you still have your lower body, your core, you can still move and keep that momentum rolling versus having to take off 6 to 8 weeks completely. And then you kind of fall off the wagon. And then it's so hard to get started back because you've taken so long off of your regimen. Just like anything, even if it's not a fitness regimen, it's hard to get back on if you get off of it for a while.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's a great philosophy. And when you start talking about long-term progress, it's like, if you can just avoid those periods of 4, 6, 8 weeks where you fall out of that routine, that adds up. Not necessarily in year 1, but in year 2, year 3 of that journey, when you just don't lose those months of that routine.
Right.
Well, that's awesome, man. I really love your guys' philosophy, and I'm excited that you guys have a studio out closer to us. And I want to dive into this upcoming event that you have coming up on the 7th. So what sparked the idea behind, I know you've done these backyard boot camps, closer to downtown Milwaukee and in the Tosa area, but where did this whole concept come from, and what can people expect at that event?
Yeah, so we've been doing it for 7 years in the Tosa area. We've held them at Hart Park. Like I said, we've done some minor things in the downtown area as well. So this will be our first time in the Lake Country, Oconomowoc area. We'll actually be in Heartland. What sparked the idea was I wanted to bring together fitness professionals. A lot of times in this field, different fitness companies see each other as competition, which I get it. I wanted to create an avenue where fitness professionals can work together for a common goal, community aspect. I feel like fitness professionals are very like-minded individuals. So it's cool for them to strategically put their brains together to create one specific event. And then, so we do an hour workout with the actual backyard boot camp. This one's from 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock in the morning on the Sunday, the September 7th. The other aspect of it was, why don't we incorporate other local businesses? So not only do the participants of the event get access to these local businesses, the trainers as well, because some of the trainers have connections or friends with businesses that are brand new, or they're trying to promote themselves. And some of the businesses we have involved aren't brand new. I mean, we have LM&T, we have Lululemon, we got you guys part of it, Performance Running Outfitters. We're connected to Ritual Hot Yoga out in the Oconomowoc area. So there'll be a huge part of it. So there's these businesses that I love seeing people be successful. If there's a way that we can promote these businesses and provide more insight for Lake Country residents, see what's out there, what components they have. So you get a workout, a full day of wellness aspects of being able to talk to different vendors, fitness professionals. It just creates a whole day of like involvement in community. So seeing it evolve into what it's been these last couple of years, like when we first started, still a really fun event, but it's really taken off. Where like seeing the fitness professionals work together, where, when fitness professionals are in the industry, they're teaching a lot. They don't get to work hand in hand with each other, but when they get to, and there's like maybe 4 top fitness professionals in a group and they get to work with each other, it's a really cool dynamic where it's like, man, we're all in the same level of fitness ability and coaching style and looked at as like a high standard in the industry. But being able to coach this together allows me sometimes to sit back and then be the hype man for, trainer A to lead, and then the trainer B leads, and now everybody else is a hype man, and then trainer C leads. So it's it's a cool dynamic for them. And what I saw from it too, which is awesome, is a lot of them are now supporting each other and their other businesses as well. So you have, these trainers that maybe didn't know each other. Now they know each other. They support each other's businesses. They're connecting as well and doing like hybrid workout and yoga classes and nutrition classes all together because now they know each other. So it's just, I guess, my little way of connecting the fitness community in the Milwaukee area to keep it growing. I'm a huge advocate for fitness, and I know like by myself can only do so much, but with the help of other fitness professionals, other businesses, we can impact the community even more. And we've been seeing that already with these last events. So just overall, it's a fun event. You get a workout, you get to be on Arrowhead High School's football field, which is just incredible venue, and then get taught by, some of the Milwaukee's best fitness trainers. I mean, the ticket's only $10, but if you had to pay for each one of those classes from the fitness instructors, I mean, that would be a $200 ticket on the low end to be able to have that many top level fitness professionals to take a class from. So it's a really fun event.
I think that's awesome. There's just such a good mindset. I mean, in this country and in this area, we don't have an issue of too many people working out right now. We really have an issue of too many people being sedentary and not pursuing their fitness, and kind of having that larger mindset of how can we help grow, the field in general rather than competing against each other is really good and a great way to impact the community. So just a couple more questions and I can get you out of here. But for this event, who's it for? Is it beginners, experienced people? What level should they be thinking about signing up?
Yeah. And that's another really cool thing. It's all levels. It's family friendly. We've got, people that bring their kids, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old that come out to this event. This last one we had in Tosa, I think we had a 76-year-old lady going through the workout as well. And she did incredible. So we have all levels, because the cool thing with it, it's stations. It's going to be on the football field. It'll be on the track. We might use the stadium stairs as well. So with how the stations are set up, it's all timed, which means you don't have an expectation to be able to, you get out of it what you put into it. You want to, go a lower level. You're not feeling it that morning. And as you start getting warmed up, you push it a little harder, or you're a weekend warrior and you're like, all right, this station is push-ups. I'm going to get, 50 push-ups in these 60 seconds. So you can any fitness level is welcome, and there's going to be options for everybody. That's the other aspect with having top level fitness professionals coaching those stations. They can see that. They can see, the weekend warrior coming in there, finding ways to push that person, the kids that are coming in, finding ways to make it fun, interactive. 70-year-old individuals are coming in through a boot camp, seeing where they're at, what ability level they could be, and if they need to make things safer, modified, whatever it is. So it's a accumulation of whatever ability you're at. Definitely get out there to experience it, because we don't have a lot of these. We usually only do once a year. This time, since we're opening up the second location of Tone Body Fitness in Oconomowoc, we're going to have 2 a year. So yeah, this will be the last one of the season to be able to take advantage of.
That's awesome. So you said September 7th, 10 a.m. at Arrowhead High School's football field. Where can people sign up and learn more about this online?
Yeah. So if you follow Tone Body Fitness on social media, our Instagram page and our Facebook page is where we post everything up to date. So Instagram is at toned_body_fitness. You'll see our logo in there. You'll see all the fun stuff that we post on our social media post. For the actual event, there's the Eventbrite link. I think you'll post below this, podcast here as well. So it's a direct link that will set you up. If you type in Backyard Boot Camp Lake Country into Eventbrite, you'll see the direct link there as well. So a lot of avenues to sign up, but yeah, it's just getting yourself a ticket for it will get you into the actual event, and that $10 ticket gets you into the workout as well as the wellness expo. I know that's a question sometimes people new to it ask, like, do I have to buy a ticket for each? No, just buy the one $10 ticket. You'll get into the workout. The wellness expo will be right there. All the vendors will be either set up or setting up while you're working out. So as soon as you're done, you can go around to all the different tables and test their coffee, their boba tea, their peanut butter, their different healthy pizzas you want to try, protein shakes, smoothies, electrolyte drinks. We've got some supplement companies out there. So a lot of fun stuff for the participant to be able to experience after the workout. We have some cold plunges so people can recover their body a little bit too. So really fun avenue.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I know my wife will be out there at our booth set up, helping people with recovery or checking out the bumps and bruises and aches and pains or anything like that. So it should be a great day. I'm going to see maybe my 7-year-old and I will jump in and do the workout too.
check it out.
So
You guys would love it. We'd love to have you there.
is there a deadline for people to sign up? So if they're listening to this, are they too late, or what's that look like?
They aren't, but once we reach capacity, we're done. So the ticket sales will go until we reach full capacity. So you're not too late. We do have some day of signups as well if we're not at capacity. So we'll go all the way up until 9:00 in the morning on September 7th. It's a perfect way to start the day. Packers start their season that day as well.
There you go.
Afternoon, they got a 3:25 game against the Lions. So it's not going to tap into your pre-Packer rituals. It's a late enough game to still get that in there. So just going to start off in a healthy way and kickstart your Sunday.
That's awesome, man. Well, we are very excited about the event, excited that you're kind of bringing it out to our area, and happy to be out there and support it. So I know you're busy and don't want to take up any more of your time today, but I really appreciate the time to come on, talk about people's fitness goals, and share this great option for our fitness community in the area.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me, Michael. It was a pleasure talking to you and chatting with you, and we'll grab some coffee sometime and dive in more into our fitness backgrounds.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right. And thanks to everyone for listening. I will include all those links to sign up for that backyard boot camp on September 7th in the show notes. So we hope to see a lot of you guys out there, and we will see you guys on the next episode.